Welcome back to the Fluent Podcast. I'm Ebony.
And I'm Tiffany.
And we're glad to have you all back today. Thank you for choosing us and spending time with us. Let's do a check-in about life, Tiffany.
Yes. So, Ebony, tell me, what's one of your healthy things you're saying yes to this week?
What am I saying? Well, I just watch you drink chia seeds in your coffee, and it's not that. So it's not chia seeds. That's a good question. What is my healthy thing this week? My healthy thing this week, what's new this week? Oh, I'm on a cadence of fluids. I'm going after my iron through my ferritin. So I'm trying to get my reserve levels up. Mm-hmm. So my new flex this week is, and those of you who are from Boricua land in New York City and other cities where you have a huge Hispanic community or large Hispanic community, there was a drink, and I don't know the name of it, but it was very dark in color. It looked like Coca-Cola, but it was this odd taste. I can't remember the drink. However,
malt?
Yes, it started with an M. Mm-hmm. That is it. And I love the distinct taste of it. And guess what? One of my new flexes is molasses.
Oh my God.
So I do a tablespoon of molasses with 8 ounces of sparkling water and 2 key limes.
Wait, is that how malt is made?
I guess so, because I'm going to have you try it the next time you're at my house. You can take a sip. It's not going to kill you.
Malt is one of my absolute worst drinks.
But I need you to understand that this whole time, it's just been molasses. It is literally, so when I do
really? Maybe that's what it was. I didn't know what it was.
I had it for the first time, and I was drinking, and I was like, this should taste like malt. Malt, something like that. Mm-hmm. So that's my new flex, is I am focused for the next 3 months because I feel better than I ever have in my 20s, because I'm 49. Look at me.
Your skin is glowing.
Is my skin glowing? Mm-hmm. Thank you. I appreciate that.
And it's winter, y'all.
Does your skin not glow in winter?
People get dried out in the winter.
Let me tell you why. Because your skin is made from the inside, not the outside. So you guys can all put all your girlies, as Maddie say. Y'all can put all that shit all over yourself. But I do it from the inside. Mm. And that's probably what you're saying. But anyway, that's my new healthy flex right now, is I'm focusing on my ferritin. That hairline is growing in. I'm feeling even prettier, because I was already pretty. But even prettier. And I'm getting my hair done tomorrow. So it will be that moment when you all used to watch Aaliyah, those of you who are old enough to know who Aaliyah was. And she used to flip her hair in the front. Mm-hmm. That's who I'll be for the next week or so before I get braids. I will be flipping my hair because my bob be bobbing.
Are you doing a side part?
I can do whatever I want. I start in the middle until my hair starts to get old. You are Tiffany, the podcast host right now. Don't be questioning what I'm doing with my hair until tomorrow. But anyway, that being said, that's my healthy thing for the week. And of course, my trampoline, the best gift I ever received. Jumping and getting all the tension out of my body. And after I eat, every day I jump on my trampoline for 10 to 15 minutes. So I'm really enjoying my trampoline and molasses right now. Those are the two things I'm enjoying. It scares me
thinking about jumping on that trampoline.
I have no clue what that means.
I think I'm spatially imbalanced, so I can't physically jump on a trampoline without hurting myself.
So I wish that I set it up for toddlers. We put toddlers in the elderly, but because my balance is still fantastic, I still got great knees, right? I didn't need it, but now that I want you on it, I wish I had the bar, so that I could at least get you on it. Because I think every time you look at it, you want to do it. But you're like, I'm going to fall. Yeah. But I realize I do have really good balance. That's what I realize. My balance is good because I can stick my landing. If I'm about to fall, I never fall.
What's that mean if I don't have good balance?
I'm not a doctor, nor am I a therapist. So those of you that keep thinking I'm a doctor and a therapist, I'm not. I know a lot, but I'm not certified in anything. But I do have my PhD for everything on YouTube. So if you have
chat later,
ask chat. But I still recommend you go to a doctor, because in all seriousness, your balance is going to be instrumental into your elderly years.
Well, I have good enough balance to where I can stand on one leg. I can and reach down and touch my toes. I could do that.
Can you
like,
put your socks on without sitting down?
Yes.
Okay, you're doing okay.
But I can't jump on something and then it's like my brain is like fall. And then I fall.
I'm going to get you on the trampoline and I might record it for you guys. You got to ask for it though, because it's going to be priceless. Let me just tell you that.
Gosh.
What are you doing healthy? I know I called you out on the chia seeds that you keep drinking with your coffee. It's so gross.
This is actually the first time.
This is the first time you've done it?
No, I'm lying. This is the second time I've done it. But I think this time I'm doing it better than I did the first time. The first time, they sunk to the bottom. And I was like, oh, this is not that bad. So
did you soak them the first time?
I did.
Oh, how long did you soak them for?
10 minutes.
It's 30 minutes for it to get the full expand so that it becomes like in your stomach.
Okay, well, this has been in there for more than 30 minutes.
So I didn't know we were going here with chia seeds. Because I don't know how I'm going to get to the topic with chia seeds. I'm not feeling a topic right now, so we need to continue. So with the chia seeds, separate from you putting it in any liquid, I don't care if it's coffee, whatever, it needs to soak for 30 minutes. So essentially, you set a timer for 30 minutes. You soak it in whatever liquid. Some people soak it in water. Mm. I soak it in water for a little bit, and then I soak it in coconut milk. Now, those of you who have high blood pressure and all of those things, I recommend you talk to your doctor. But I do soak mine for a little bit of time in the water to absorb most of it. And then I soak it in coconut milk so that it can taste creamy. So that's essentially what I'm doing.
Okay. That makes sense. Girl, I'm new.
So it's not soaking. You want them to expand before you put it in what you're actually eating it with. Does that make sense? Or drinking it with?
Yeah.
Because I eat mine with yogurt. She's drinking hers with coffee. I'm not judging as long as we all go out.
I can't do the yogurt and the chia seed.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm just a texture thing for me.
Just letting you know.
And I tried. That didn't work.
Okay.
But this is round 2 with the coffee, and it's going better than the first time.
Well, as my triber, I want you to live as long as you can, selfishly for me, and then for your family. So whatever you're doing healthy, I am here for. Okay?
I'm working on it.
Thank you.
I am.
So you asked about healthy things. That was about me and now about you because you are on your grind and I love that for you.
Okay.
Tell me something new or intentional that you're doing in your life right now.
Well, the chia seeds are new, but we're past that. But something intentional I've been doing is, I think I told you, me and my husband, we started back journaling together.
Like y'all sit together and journal? That just turned me on. You know I get turned on by the littlest thing. You know when you're becoming your mother, because when I was growing up, she was horny about everything. And I'm horny about everything. Like, I hope my kids are listening, because they will be horny about everything too. But more importantly, you just become your mother. Like, I just was like, that sounds so sexy. People think it's about the things. But just hearing that you and Reese journal together has turned me on. But I'm releasing my turn on back to you. What's up?
Okay, so we were on the phone. Me and you, we were on the phone one day. And something told me to pick the book up. And I'm like looking through it. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I think I told you the last time we journaled together was January of 2025. And I was like, we went
a full year
without journaling together. But 2025 was a transformational year for my entire family. So we were just busy and hustling, bustling, and trying to make things shake, as they say. And
I don't know what that means.
Make something happen.
Make something happen.
Got it.
I don't. Go ahead.
But we're having that conversation. And I'm looking in this book, and I'm like, I looked at the date, like, that's crazy. And so I was like, babe, we haven't journaled in a year. And he was like, what? That's not right. But we write the date down every time we journal. And the last time we journaled together was January 29th of 2025.
The dates are so important.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at a book. So I have all these books for different things now. And it was a note that I received from Madison where she's talking to me about just how much she appreciates me. Mm-hmm. And I was so excited to read it. And then it didn't have a note on it. And she writes like she's a typewriter.
This is crazy.
So I didn't know. But it just talks about how I protect her, how I guide her, how insightful I am. She did tell me this week that I was her favorite person again. I don't really know what that means, but it's just so important to write dates down on things because I know she wrote it within the last few years, but I'm always curious to see like what state of mind was she in. So I'm glad that you and Reese were able to write down a date so that you can go back, because the old Ebony would have said this, so the new Ebony's going to say it as well. We got to be better.
Yeah.
Like life is always going to life. So starting this, it's a tradition too.
Yeah. And we were
like, this is Black History Month. A Black couple sitting down, writing their thoughts. Like, can we reimagine and redefine Black History Month? I was watching, I don't know how we got here, but I love it. I was watching, because I'm seeking something on social media around Black history that I'm just not getting. So stay tuned, because I'll probably post something on IG after talking to Tiffany. Let's reimagine Black history. So I had Joy, I think it's Joy to the World, or Joy Eats, or Joy something, who is here in the Durham area or the Raleigh-Durham area. And she shares on her content places to eat and go, and she hangs out with her friends. And when she shared what was going on for Black History Month, she shared all of the restaurants in Durham. And then I shared it with my tribe and shared it with my village and made sure everybody knew about everything going on in Durham. And then I DM'd her. That's DM when you send a direct message, right? Got it. So I DM'd her and I said, this is Black History Month. I just want you to know, I want to highlight the work that you do and the time that you take. Because I've been in this industry for 2 months now, and it is a full-time job.
Oh, man.
It is a lot. It is a lot of work. So shout out to Joy. Shout out to Everyday Cachet. Shout out to Tech Me Out. Because those are the people that I know directly. And Tiffany and I salute you.
Yes.
It is hard work. It is not easy work. But I essentially DM'd her and told her, thank you for showing up for Black people. Thank you for highlighting Black people. Thank you for showing your new husband and your new baby and your son. And I really wanted her to understand that that's also Black History Month. When we just take a moment to recognize each other. Yeah. So I want to take a moment and thank you and Reese. Thank you for trying to be the best version of yourself for your children. And that's not the perfect version, right? But it's the best version of yourselves. And that to me is also Black History Month. So I just wanted to say that to you as well. I am very sentimental, and I learned on this podcast that I'm sensitive. So just wanted
But also, we're not being the best people we can be for our children. We are, but that's not the only reason.
Right.
We're trying to be the best people for each other.
Oh, Tiff, I love that.
Because I deserve to be loved the way I want to be loved, and so does he. So,
which is different, because you both need something different too. Right. Like he needs his K2. What is it? What's the
2K?
2K. He needs his 2K at the end of the night. If I call Tiff past 8:00, he's screaming and yelling. And the first time I was like, "Hey, is everything okay?" And she was like, "Oh, that's Reese just playing his game." And I'm like, "Oh, that's why you're a grown person walking around the house with headphones at 8 p.m. So got it. Whatever works for them." But ultimately, it does. Take my Black History Month celebration to say this is also Black History Month. And this is who we are as Black families. Yeah. What is it? We're not a monolithic.
Yes.
Yeah, we're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there are a lot of similarities that I've saw in my previous marriage, and there's some that are so different. But I enjoy hearing your kids in the background. I want to highlight, we got to reimagine Black History Month. I got to figure that out. But what I'm seeing on social media is just not feeding my soul. So we've got to figure out from a Fluent standpoint, what does it look like for us, and see if that resonates with our audience as well. So yeah. Anything else around just anything that you've been intentional about? I know the diary. What have I been intentional about? Yeah. Did I even say that?
You haven't.
What I've been intentional about right now? I've been really intentional about, I want to show you better than I can tell you. I want to show you better than I can tell you. I think I'm a woman of many words. As I've shared in this podcast, I grew up in a very communicative environment, a very curious environment. So I know how to speak. I know how to have a conversation. I know how to have a fun conversation, but a bitch know how to have the tough conversations too. So I'm in a season of, I want to show you better than I can tell you. And a few great things have happened to me in the last 2 weeks as it relates to my healing journey, because that's what y'all want to know about. And one is my therapist, as I shared with you all a few weeks ago, did brain spotting with me. So I'm going to share that on social media in the next few days around what brain spotting is. So when you hear this podcast, it will already be shared on social media. But I want to give them the definition. I want to strongly encourage you to seek your therapist to better understand brain spotting, because I'm just sharing it from my point of view. But when I talked to my therapist in my follow-up appointment a week after the brain spotting and told her what has transpired since, she told me that the brain spotting triggered and initiated. And let's stop for a second on triggered. Because I had Tiffany listen to a voice recording of myself, and she got triggered. And I immediately, even someone with as much knowledge as I have around the healing journey and why it's so important to cry and all of those things, I wanted to console her, and then I pulled myself back. We need to get comfortable with being triggered.
Yeah.
Triggers only show you what you still need to work on. They are as healthy as you allow them to be. So I want to say in front of the audience that I do apologize. I have to be better about allowing space for tears, because I'm still learning them, even though I've been crying more now than I ever have. But in that moment, I could have been a better support system to you by just putting my hands underneath my my butt and just sitting on them and saying, allow her to have this moment. So triggers are a wonderful thing. So I apologize for that.
No, you don't have to apologize.
I like to lead by example, so this is an apology. So anyway, going back to my brain spotting, because I've rewired my nervous system, so now I'm a lot gentler than I was 2 weeks ago. But my therapist allowed me to move through a feeling that has allowed me to have a different perspective and how I hold people accountable and resetting my boundaries, because you do reset boundaries sometimes, and then you get to a point where the boundary has been shared and I need to now show you better than I can tell you. So what I learned was, because of rewiring my nervous system and rewiring my brain, it's allowed me to have really vivid dreams about things that have happened in my past that I totally forgot about, that I can't wait to unpack. Tiffany's like, I don't know where her eyes are going right now, but she's like, oh, this is getting juicy. That said, 2 days after brain spotting, I'm going to share this. Tiff and I were on a business call recapping things that were, pros and cons, the analytics of our business. And we got to that point, the sweet spot in our communication where we start to just exchange life. And I was sharing, as you all know, that I am in the process of, how do you say it? Like going through a breakup, right? A separation from my former fiance. And, Tiff is Tiff. She checks in. And it got to a point in the conversation where Tiffany, and I'm going to slow down before I speed up, because I don't remember exactly how it happened, but this is what I told my therapist yesterday. I recorded Tiffany's voice. Her optics went completely down. And it was like she opened this gate. And it was a gate where the two of us, we have a difference in age, but we were both 7. And in her voice was like, it's okay. You'll get through it. And when she said that to me, she said, you can do this. You can do this. You got it. Was the first time in my entire life, and I've already shared, I've been in therapy since I was 28 years old. I've had a handful of therapists. And outside of the brain spotting that prior Wednesday and having the conversation with you the following Friday, I've never been introduced to my inner child. I've never experienced that. So those listeners who have, shout out to you. I know that may have been a very scary time, but it was so rewarding. And I was talking to another friend who said, oh my God, I would have been on my way to your house had you been screaming like that. And luckily, I'm happy to say no one heard me, because I think if someone did hear me, they would have called 911. Am I exaggerating? Because I'm good with hyperboles. Is that an exaggeration?
being on the other side of the phone, I didn't feel like someone needed to call 911.
So it felt for me. I was like, please put me in a hospital. This shit is hurting. But the interesting part about it, Tiff, it felt like the hairs on my chest, I guess I have them, I'll look later, just stood up and I felt this softness come out of me. And when you said you can do this, she also said, come on, you can do this.
No, I said, don't be scared.
You said, don't be scared, and she came out.
Yeah.
That's what happened. Thank you. Thank you for, because I was screaming, so I really didn't know what the fuck you said. And she's laughing. And then once it was over, Tiffany's calm as a cucumber. That's why you have to pick the right people in your life. I decided to meet my childhood self with my retired military veteran who has been to Iraq and let me roar because something came out of me.
I'm also a retired crash out.
Retired crash out. So she understood the assignment. And when I was done, I said, okay, like, Tiff, was that too much? And she was like, no, I've been there before. I just wanted to allow you the space. And I said, bitch, you crazy. Did it happen exactly the way I'm saying it happened? Please help me out.
Yeah. Yeah. But, I mean, I feel like you were in a different emotional space than me. So, for me, from my end, it wasn't as dramatic. I was just allowing the silence to help you through whatever you...
I'm going to send her the recording from my camera, from my alarm system. Because I felt, oh God, she did it again, but she has a husband, lady. So she can laugh like that. You can't laugh like that until you're comfortable.
Oh my God, I am in tears.
I'm gonna send it because I'm still traumatized from it. Like my body split and a little person ran out of me. I've only given birth twice. It didn't feel like that. It honestly, in all seriousness, because this is a really serious topic.
Yeah, it is.
It is such a surreal. That's how you say the word?
Mm-hmm.
Feeling. Yeah. And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if I have to feel that all the time.
And I don't think it's...
I don't think you can.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. But I wasn't mad at it.
The only time I feel like I'm connected or talking to my inner child is when I look at myself in the mirror. And I mean, like, really look into my pupils.
Okay, that's what it was, Tiff. You were sending me to go talk to myself in the mirror, and you said you can do it, and then it happened. Yeah. That's what happened. You didn't explain that. See, I just got it. Yeah. That's what happened. You were sending me in the mirror by myself, and I said, hell no, I'm doing this with you. I didn't, and I'm so happy that I didn't do it alone. I would have lost my shit in that mirror if it happened the way that it happened.
It's scary at first because I just recently started back doing my mirror work. Remember the last time I told you I did it? It was to tell myself not to get pregnant.
Not to get pregnant.
That was 12 years ago.
But you ain't get pregnant.
It scared the fuck out of me, though. That connection. And I didn't have someone to help me through it emotionally. So I just never did it again.
That's Black History Month. Thank you, Tiffany. Black women will help you get through some shit. Now, don't get it twisted. My soulmate is white. But Black women will help you get through some shit. But if you could find you other women outside of Black women, that's not a bad thing by any means. But Tiffany, like, I salute you at a level that felt like you were delivering a baby with me. And I think to bring a child into this world is the most beautiful thing that you can do. Really, it's selfish for yourself because you're not doing anything for the child. You're bringing them to this horrible environment. But that said, I just want to thank you because I wouldn't have wanted to go through that experience with anybody else. It happened at the right time with the right person. So everyone you meet, sometimes it's a reason, sometimes it's a season, but this is a season that I am so happy to be walking arm in arm with you.
Same.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in that space too.
You. I love you too. Yeah, we're Leos. We're so loving. I don't get why people talk like we're just so loving, so giving.
Because we're loving, but we're equally as judgmental. And people don't like that shit.
Are we? Am I judgmental?
Well, because we package it as honesty.
Oh, we package it as honesty.
And then other people receive it as judgment.
My children are like, yes, bitch. No, excuse me. They're like, Yeah, what is it? She clocked you. You know what? The one thing I've never tried to do is keep up with the slang, and I'm not going to try to do it on this podcast. I need to be me. So my children would say, Mom, she's telling the truth. So thank you for clocking me.
I clocked us.
You clocked. Oh, we're right. We're both Leos. Yeah. That's so true. So we package it as honesty.
Because that's what it feels like. I'm being honest with you.
But when you're a toxic Leo, because we've both been toxic Leos. Full circle moment.
Yeah.
Are you sharing? She's laughing through this. You all start to know Tiffany when she laughed through something. I've been a toxic Leo. It's not.
I know a lot of Leos, though.
Yeah, you do. That's true. You do.
Like my mother-in-law is a Leo. Oh, wow. Her mother is a Leo. Like they were born on the same day.
That's so cool. What Leos are they? July or August?
They're both Leo? August 16th. I'm breathing. And I always told myself I don't want to end up like them. And don't get me wrong, like I'm not trying to disrespect anybody, but I'm just telling my truth. Mm-hmm. They weren't kind to me.
Ooh, Tiff.
And they're the reason why I want to be a good mother-in-law.
I fuck with that.
Like I met them when I was 19. I didn't do anything to anybody. This man chose me. And somehow...
And continues to choose you.
Right.
By doing the work.
Right. So, but yeah. So that's why I kind of made that face. Because I'm like, if you don't, especially as a Leo.
A toxic Leo. Leo. They can.
If you don't do the work.
Yeah.
I know people say it can't get any worse. Yes, it can.
Yeah. I don't even want that bitch out.
Not at all. I don't want to be
I work hard.
Mean and disgruntled when I'm 60, 70, 80. Like, you at that point, you on your way out. So you should be
having more years. You had more years behind you than you have ahead of you. So I'm glad that you can kind of decipher that and understand. It's sad because people motivate you to be the best version of yourself when they do good things, and they also motivate you when they don't do not so kind things. So that's good. Thank you for sharing that. I just wanted you to know and the audience to know that you terrorized me. That in all these fucking years of therapy and all these therapists, my inner child came out with you. That's like my placenta or some shit. Like, we're connected now.
Soul tie.
But, I was thinking, Tiff, before we talk about boundaries, because, as we're talking, I play so many roles. Not just Kelly, not just Beyonce. But I'm thinking about what we can talk about each time we're here. And as I'm listening to us, we were able to share what's going on with us from a health perspective, how our week is going. And I'm thinking about, before we talk about boundaries, before we talk about choice, before we talk about capacity, there's a quieter question underneath it all. And I think that quieter question is, do you matter? Because what we just discussed was you and I make space for one another to matter. Like, there's not a time that I don't feel like I matter to you. So how do you feel about, do you matter?
I mean, I feel like because I've been more intentional with how I require people to love me and treat me, I do feel like I matter to people. And when I feel like I don't matter, I recuse myself. I make myself scarce.
Okay.
Yeah. If I feel like I don't matter, then it's like this space is not. Yeah, the space is not for me.
Right.
And that's fine. All these spaces I could be in, I don't have to be in a space that doesn't make me feel like I matter.
And think about, our relationship is a little over a year. And you didn't have me a year and a half ago.
Right. You
had other people that showed you mattered or didn't matter, and then you removed yourself. And now you have me and more people that are telling you matter. So I'm happy to hear that that's your experience. If I had to say, do I matter? Abso-fucking-lutely, I matter. I think that there are people who try to convince you that you don't matter, whether willingly or knowingly or unknowingly. But at the core of who I am a kind person. I am a great mom. I am loving and caring to my own body. And I'm loving and caring to the people I love. So if you give that type of energy, you're gonna get that reciprocated.
Mm-hmm.
So I do feel like I matter, but I think it warrants a conversation as we discuss healing out loud. And we may feel like we matter, but we don't always feel like we matter. And I'm sure our audience feels the same way. Or I'm looking at you, maybe you always feel like you matter. And I think that that's great. You always feel like you matter. Or do you not? What am I misreading that?
In this stage in my life, yeah, I do.
Nice.
I mean,
That.
well, I guess I just had an incident.
I was just
yeah,
yeah, I was just thinking
at
I was
work.
like, well, that could have been it, but I got
But
you. That's good that we're
I don't
feeling it at
care
the same
enough
time.
about
Yeah, you don't value
that. Yeah.
those relationships.
Yeah, I don't know any of those people. So, yeah, I don't matter like they don't matter to
Yeah.
me. You know what I mean? So, it's nothing for me to just keep it pushing.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing. Every other area in my life is great.
I think when I think about do you matter, I also think about the fact that like what mattering actually means, right? I speak to my daughter on average 3 times a day. On average, 3 times a day. Sometimes we get on the phone and we're on the phone for a few seconds and we'd be like, oh shit, we don't have anything to talk about. And we just say, love you, bye.
Mm-hmm.
And as a parent, your job, your ultimate job is for your kids to want to call you past 18.
Mm-hmm.
That's the goal. It's for your kids to want to call you past 18. So on a daily basis, I know I matter because I get that type of energy from Madison continuously. Mm-hmm. That said, when you're going through such a huge breakup and separation from someone that you really care about, there are times when you feel like you don't matter. I don't live in that long because I know how much love is around me.
Yeah.
And I can send someone a text or FaceTime someone or call someone and get exactly what I need. But more importantly, I can sit in silence and give myself what I need. Yep. So it's being able to, in this healing journey, being able to decipher when you need yourself, when you need others. And I've not always been in that space. So I'm happy to have that. So when I think about what mattering actually really means, I think this is how we can unpack it.
Mm-hmm. So when you say mattering, what are you really talking about?
That word is so hard to like unpack and it's not digestible to my vernacular, but mattering is belonging without performance. Your presence has value even when you're not producing. That's what it is for me. Because remember, you and I had this conversation about do you love your kids unconditionally? We still haven't finished that argument.
We have not.
That's a big fight. And I want to pull out hair when we have this fight next time. So it's do you matter? I mean, excuse me, do you love your kids unconditionally?
I do.
We're going to save that topic because I love
me and
the
Maddie
fact that
attempted to have this conversation.
And you couldn't have it with her either?
No, Maddie's like, she's a fence rider when it comes to...
You and I?
No, when it comes to this argument. She's just like, I mean, I feel like you could, but...
So Maddie's Madison, which is my daughter. But I don't think she even likes hearing Madison because she thinks she's in trouble. I don't know why I said Madison.
Every time I call her that, she'd be like...
I'm in a formal state of mind right now, so let me loosen up. I already got that feedback. I heard you all. I heard you. Tiffany's healing out loud. And I'm healing in whispers. I heard you. Don't think I'm not paying attention to the DMs, you all.
Oh my God.
I heard you. I'm healing out loud too. That said, sorry, but yes. You need to follow up with Maddie about that, but we need to have a fight before you go back to Maddie. I'm using the word fight. That's tongue in cheek. Nobody's fighting here. We use our words. Mm-hmm. But Tiffany's challenged with the fact that I just don't think, you know what? Let's leave that. Let's go back to mattering.
That'll be a whole nother episode.
So mattering is belonging without performance. Your presence has value even when you're not producing. Even that's how I look at what it actually means. That's my definition. So when has there been a time in your life where you felt like you needed to perform to matter?
Okay, so I've only ever had 2 jobs where I felt like I had to be the best in order to matter.
Mm-hmm.
All the other jobs, because of my military experience, were just easy. Like I could just, I was the best in like 2 months.
Yo, bullshit. It's not bullshit, I'm sure, but we are like really good at what we do. I was phenomenal in corporate America. I get it.
I started at the bottom, and in 2 months I was the supervisor.
I get it.
But my military career, I had to try really hard there. Mm-hmm. One, because I was Black, just off rip.
So what was my question? When you felt like you didn't matter, you did matter?
I did not matter.
Got it. Okay,
unless I was overachieving.
100%.
So once I started overachieving, the first time I did something that overachieved, it gave me a feeling. And I was like, oh, okay, if I keep doing that, I'm going to keep getting this feeling. And then...
It's called your nervous system.
Yeah. And so that worked until I met my third racist. And then I was like, okay, this feeling no longer matters to me if I have to have this feeling. And so I got out the military, and then I started my hair career. Mm-hmm. And it's the same thing. If you accidentally don't shampoo all the color off of a client,
what happens?
They all stand in the break room and talk shit about you.
Oh, wow.
And it hasn't, well, I don't know if it's happened to me.
Instead of just assisting and saying, hey, Tiff, did you see? Yeah.
Like, instead of just saying, hey, I know you're trying hard and you got a lot going on, but I need you to be a little more intentional with your shampoos or whatever.
It's that simple.
Yes, and I say that as someone who witnessed it happen to another person. And then it makes me like, oh, I got to try even harder because clearly what we're doing is not enough. And that girl who that happened to, she quit. Mm-hmm. And I was like, damn, she was so good at her job. She made one mistake and caught a group of them talking about her.
Was she Black or white?
She was Latina.
Okay. So she was a person of color. Mm-hmm. Got it. Because
And
I know that was this is
predominantly white salon.
Yeah,
yes.
That's what I figured.
And she quit. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I just got some decent help around here.
I just got some decent help.
This was a high performance salon.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I'm talking the whole 10 hours I was there, I was never idle.
Never idle, wow.
30-minute lunch break, right back to it. And so I say that to say all that stuff, it caused me to be a high performer. Mm-hmm. But now it's like I got to take that experience from the military and from the salon, and I get to do it for myself.
I love that for you.
And I proved to myself that, girl, you matter here. The energy and the space that we create, you matter here. You don't have to overperform for other fucking people.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
Like, and those are the two areas where I felt where I had to overperform to feel like I matter. In my relationship, I've never felt that way. He's never made me feel like,
wow,
I had to compete for his love, ever.
That's amazing.
Never.
And you know how you have, and again, you guys are listening to us. You don't see us. But in my intuition, I respect it. I respect my intuition. I was fooled a few times, but I respect my intuition for the most part. Actually, even in my being fooled, I knew that I was being fooled. So I kind of respect. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was ignorant more so. But I'm looking at your face, and sometimes most times people say a lot, and I can look at them and be like, okay, girl, sure. Mm. But I know Reese makes you feel the way you said he makes you feel. And I love that for you.
Yeah.
That's Black History Month. I'm saluting a Black man. Because when we have to say things that are some may consider unkind, I want to be able to say, here's the things that we have said. Mm-hmm. We're saluting the fact that you don't have a perfect marriage, but you have a healthy marriage and you guys are growing together. Mm-hmm. And that's what it's about. You got to grow together. But when I think about if I mattered in some of my professional environments, ooh, that's
girl.
Yeah, I've been through some shit. Mm-hmm. And, it's interesting because one of my siblings and I used to go downtown for interviews. And when we lived in New York, and we went to a Bergdorf and Goodman. Mm. This was probably early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say late 80s because I think that's wrong, but at least early 90s. And I remember my sister not wanting to go into the room when we opened the door because the whole room was all white.
Mm.
And it's interesting because this story is not about her, it's more about me. And that is when I opened that door, I didn't realize in the early 90s, and I ended my corporate career in 2021.
Mm.
So between 1990 and 2021, I continued to open doors and be in spaces where no one looked like me.
Mm-hmm.
So it happened in New York City. And then I decided, oh, great idea. I'm going to move my son south with my husband at the time, and we're going to raise him in Virginia. Best decision I ever made, hands down. As a New Yorker, it's in my blood. But I am so proud that I made the decision to raise my children in the South. Best decision I ever made. That said, they have New York parents.
Actually,
I'm sure.
Yeah.
They have New York parents, so they get the best of both worlds. Mm-hmm. The South can't be all my kids would know. Mm-hmm. And obviously, they're educated, they've traveled the world, etc. But that moment of opening the door and me walking in and my sister like, I'm not going in there. Mm-hmm. That set the tone for my professional career. Mm. Then moving down South and being not just a woman, but being a Black woman. And at that time, there were people that I work with that never, let alone had a woman as a boss, a Black woman as a boss. So what I learned now is a lot of issues were coming up that were never my issue. They were never my issue. It was because it was a discomfort for me being a Black woman. And it was a discomfort for me being a woman. And it was a discomfort for me being assertive. And it was a discomfort for me being intelligent. Mm-hmm. And it was a discomfort for me being attractive. And it was a discomfort for my husband loving me.
Listen, because let's keep it real. If you was a white man, you would be a billionaire by now.
I would definitely be in a C-suite, for sure.
With the energy that you carry.
For sure. I agree with you. But I will tell you, my trauma hindered me from being the best version of myself. They mishandled me, for sure. Let me slow that shit down. I was mishandled in corporate America. Mis-fucking-handled. And anyone listening that I work with, you fucking know. I was mishandled. And most of you were a part of the problem. Yeah. Why? Because we know now we're all on a healing journey. Your shit showed up just like my shit showed up. Yeah. So
it's not your assertiveness that got you mishandled. It's your Blackness.
Oh yeah, 100%. Did I not stress that? 100%. Okay.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
100%. Because the way I was not, I wouldn't say I wasn't assertive when I was in the military, but I was very, I was stern in my position on things, but I was like, I don't know, more flexible. Like if someone said something that rubbed me the wrong way, I would let it go. I'm a let it go type of girl. And when I was in the military, I was a get along type of girl.
I don't think I've ever been like that. Do you think I'm like that now?
A get along type of girl? No.
I'm not. I wasn't that at all.
No, I know that. And that's what I'm saying is for us to have two different, even though we're both Leos and we have similar morals and values, the way we present to people is a little bit different. And even though I presented softer, I still got the same treatment.
The same treatment.
Yes.
I'm so happy that you pointed that out. That's such a good distinction. And what's interesting is, because Maddie makes me smile because she wears a lot of blush. Mm-hmm. And one of my bosses in New York City, when I was an executive at Macy's, I was in an executive program at Macy's. She was a Black woman overseeing the downtown Brooklyn Macy's. Mm-hmm. Black woman. Mm-hmm. And she wore so much blush. And it just reminds me of Madison. But she would say to me, if you could just, she was the first person to say it, if you could just, you would be here. If you could just, you would be here. Mm-hmm. So every company I worked at after that, which was probably 4 or 5 more companies, I heard that over and over and over again. And I don't regret it because I never subscribed to their bullshit. And what most employees didn't know is the same leaders that you were having lunch with, talking shit about me with, were in the rooms not having your back.
It's always like that.
Not having your
Some
back.
people up there, they don't get there by not being an every man for themselves type of person.
100%. And I used to, as I look back and reflect and see some relationships, it chuckles me. I get chuckled by it, I should say, because they don't know how unsupportive a lot of leaders were. And even if I didn't have a good relationship with you, I was the one in the room saying, that's unkind, that's unfair. And I learned now unfair is the wrong thing to say in a professional environment, but it was a lot of unfairness happening. Mm-hmm. And then in 2020, it just blew up. It blew up. And I found myself in a situation where I was the only Black leader in my region. The closest to me was DC, where those Black leaders had 20 other leaders to bounce ideas off of, to take some of the pressure off of them. And I don't think anybody ever thought about the level of responsibility that was put on my shoulders in 2020 to oversee almost 1,000 people total, but the Black employees, their experience. And then having to hold down the white employees and say, where's your fragility and shit? Like, we don't have time for your feelings right now. But the positive in that was I opened up the brains of my male employees. Mm-hmm. And they started going to therapy. Mm-hmm. And when I look back, there were some, like I said, I was mishandled, but to see some of them flourish now as fathers and as men, because 2020 changed the landscape of how I navigated the mental health system. So because I came into 2020 prepared with the language and fluent in mental health, I was really able to capture our community around the importance of going one direction versus the other. And I'm really proud of that. Yeah. And more importantly, I'm proud of the fact that my children hold their mental health at the top of what they do. Mm-hmm. It is our North Star. We are focused on our mental health. We are focused on ending generational curses within our lineage. We are focused on that. Mm-hmm. So no, I was 100% mishandled in corporate America. Yeah. I did not feel like I mattered. People were very unkind to me, and I never received an apology.
And you won't.
And I don't need it. The good thing is I don't need it because I've consumed things in my life, like you, people. I've created a life for myself where I have mental and emotional capacity to do anything that I want to do. Mm-hmm. Nothing limits me anymore. So I look back at that as that too shall pass. And it did. Yeah. And now I get to, instead of make money for other companies, I get to make money for myself. So all of that intellectual horsepower, all of those competencies that I learned running multi-million-dollar businesses, I now get to flourish and do it on my own. Mm-hmm. So
and it feels amazing.
It feels great. Yeah. It does. It feels great. So I don't know how we got, that was a, do you feel like you matter moment? Okay.
Now that's professional. In your personal life, because you've had a 2-decade-long marriage.
Okay.
And then you recently just got out of a 3-year relationship.
Correct.
In your personal relationship with your partners.
Okay.
Do you feel like you experienced moments where you mattered or did not matter?
Yeah, of course. I'm sure. Yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm. I think that, and I'll be really transparent with the audience. My first marriage is kind of wrapped up in a bow. Mm-hmm. I did a lot of work because as I shared, I had a divorce therapist. But what I have found since going through the breakup with my fiance is it's brought some things back from my first marriage. Because I don't want to say husband because I'm bisexual. So I don't want to be like my first husband because it may not be, it may be my last husband or whatever. That's what bisexual is. We'll move on. Mm-hmm. You guys know the definition.
We'll make it genderless.
So what I'm finding is he mishandled me and he teed me up. So what I think about, I've said I'm so appreciative. Believe it or not, I'm so appreciative. I thank people for teaching me shit. I thank people for teaching me shit. But what I'm recognizing as I evolve in my healing journey is those same people had choices.
Mm-hmm.
My ex-husband had the choice to leave me in a space where I was better for it. He had a choice to leave me in a more healed space, just strictly off the fact that you were committed to someone and someone was committed to you for 20 plus years, and they gave birth to your children. And for me, happy Black History Month, you want to make sure that you leave Black women intact. I just told you all, everything I was going through from a corporate America standpoint, and then your marriage. So, no, I was mishandled. And I realize now I was thanking him for the learns. I was thanking her for the learns. But there's another way to do it. I could have learned, because my biggest learn, no, I won't say my biggest, a learn is I uncovered that I have abandonment issues. And it wasn't anything that I ever thought was my issue. I never thought that, I never thought that I had abandonment issues because the people that I knew that had abandonment issues, I didn't have those same issues. That just shows you the complexity of healing.
Yeah.
That just shows you the complexity of trauma. So both partners could have been more kind, and that doesn't take away where I needed to be better. So let me just say that. So everybody, shoulders down. I'll take ownership for being who the fuck I was and who I am. That said, they could have treated me with kindness, and I also would have learned that I had trauma from being abandoned as a child. There's so many ways to learn it. But when we're triggered, when we're unhealed, we don't allow people to learn their triggers and their traumas in a healthy way. You're learning that in a healthy way. And I didn't know it until I saw you. So where I was thanking motherfuckers for teaching me something so I can now take the baton. Oh, I have abandonment issues. Let me take it to my therapist. Let's figure out how does that show up. You're in a relationship where your triggers and your trauma, all of that shows up, and your husband holds space for you. He holds space for you.
Yeah, but I had to teach him that. Because he always took it personally. Nigga, not everything is about you. Sometimes I'm upset because I'm on my period. The fuck?
But you miss the predicate, as I always say, the most important part. You said you had to teach him that.
Yes. It wasn't.
I'm an educator when it comes to certain things. You know how you was like, I got my PhD in boundaries. Well, bitch, let me explain something to you. I'm an educator. Yes, you had to teach him. But more importantly, he had to receive it. He had to receive it. So I want to make sure we slow that shit down before we speed that shit up. You had to teach him. I'm raising my hand. I taught and taught and taught. They have to receive it. Reese receives it. That's the difference. Do you matter?
That's how the cookie crumbles.
Do you matter? Yeah. So, how do people learn they don't matter? They learn from the experiences that I just shared with you. They learn from relationships, whether it's platonic relationships, professional relationships, or romantic relationships. That's how they learn. What do you think?
I agree.
They learn those ways. Yeah. I do too. Let's look at this, Tiff. So, through subtle cues, I think they learn. I also think they learn by being praised for their accomplishments, which what you said. I think that they learn from being questioned. I think they learn from their emotions being minimized, like I just said. And I think they learn from setting boundaries. They're punished. That's where they learn they don't matter. That's what I think. What are your thoughts?
I mean, that's how I feel like I've learned that I didn't matter. It's through those things.
It's through not being praised for your accomplishments.
Even though you set the bar for the accomplishment and then the person reaches it and you're like, oh, anyways.
Minimizing your emotions and then punishing you for your boundaries. That's where we learn that we don't matter. Just think, I mean, if the audience is thinking about it, Those are probably the big buckets of why people feel that way. What do you think? What do you think, Tiffany? Well, I guess I should say, what do you hope people take away from this podcast today?
That they matter, and that if they feel like they don't matter, then they need to do that work to figure out what makes them feel good.
It's not about seeking it out. It's about understanding what you want. Like, what is it that makes you feel like you matter? Because that goes back to love languages. And we're really big on loving people the way that they want to be loved versus the way we want to be loved. As you said, you had to teach Reese how to love you. And he
taught me how to love
him, but he wants to know. It's that reciprocity. I love that. But I also think that mattering isn't something you chase. It's something you recognize. That's how I look at it too. So, I don't know. It feels somber as we end because mattering is huge.
Yeah.
Do I matter? And I always tell my kids, when you come to see me, start recording. Because then they'll leave and they'll be like, Mom, what did you say? I'm like, I don't remember. But I remember having a conversation with my son, and he's in leadership and he's in corporate America. And he was just going on and on and on about this conversation that he was having from a accountability standpoint. And I looked at him and I said, hey, Jay, you matter. And he looked at me as he's doing the J thing, just talking. And it resonated with him because what he was telling me didn't align with our values. And sometimes as parents, you're always parenting, but you also have to redirect what it looks like from an adult standpoint, which I told you, don't worry about. You'll get there. Just enjoy them now. But sometimes you have to use the words. And in that moment, I could have said many things to him as a leader that had been in the business for 20 plus years. I could have said many things, but I needed to be his mom in that moment and say to him, hey, you matter, because I understand the importance of leadership, not just in corporate America, but also at home. Yeah. So telling him he mattered was a moment that he absolutely needed. So I'm hoping, the hope is that our audience walks away today understanding that they do matter. And they have to find the language to share to people from a love language standpoint around how you show me you matter. People can also show you matter through their own skill set. But it's even more so important to tell people how you want to be treated and how you want to be seen. I think that that's really important, Tiff.
Because as we discussed, no one's a mind reader.
No one's a fucking mind reader. I don't know what you're thinking. You need to tell me what you're thinking.
Period.
That's why eventually going back into this dating pool or dating scene or whatever it is, because who knows at 49, look at me. But
in 2026,
I don't even know. Like, how do you begin? But I'm so excited and so curious to understand how people think and where they are in 2026, because there's so much at our fingertips that, I mean, I obviously look at it as I was in a relationship for so long, and then I wasn't in a relationship for 3 or 4 years, and now I was back into a relationship for 3 years, what that landscape looks like right now. But I'm just curious to understand where people are in their healing journey with all the resources that they have today. There are no excuses. It's a choice to be stagnant. It really is. So as you all embark on your week, I want you to think about, do I matter? Who are the people in my life that help me to understand I matter, and what does mattering mean to me? Obviously, the journal prompt will go out on Sunday, so we'll give you more dialogue to be able to sit in it on your own and identify the people in your life that make you feel seen, wanted, and heard, and you do matter. One thing that I wanted to introduce, Tiff, if you didn't have anything, I have a new segment. So we have a new segment in Fluent, but did you have anything you wanted to hone in on before we close out of Do You Matter?
Nope. I'm ready for the new.
You ready for the new?
Yeah.
So I wanted to introduce a new segment of the Fluent podcast, and it's called The Fluent Moment. It's a space to get something off your chest with honesty, clarity, and intention. And just so you know, we'll be rolling something out for you to get things off your chest with honesty, clarity, and intention. But I'm going to start off this week because I have something that's actually pre-written that I want to get off my chest. And it is the first Fluent Moment. Everyone's talking about healing right now. At least that's what they say. Therapy language everywhere. Boundaries everywhere. Self-care everywhere. But the patterns aren't changing. The reactions aren't changing. The outcomes aren't changing. Just the vocabulary is changing. Here's the comfortable truth. Healing isn't learning new words. Healing is changing what you do. You can understand your trauma. You can know your attachment style. You can explain exactly why you are who you are and still hurt people the same way. Still avoid hard conversations. Still shut down when things get uncomfortable. At some point, self-awareness without actions stop being healing and starts being hiding. I'm healing isn't a free pass. It doesn't excuse poor behavior. It doesn't excuse inconsistency. And it doesn't excuse bleeding out on people and calling it self-protection. Healing isn't just knowing why. It's doing something different the next time it shows up. It's catching yourself before the same reaction, which I call the 60-second delay. Not I, but the therapy gods call the 60-second delay. It's choosing discomfort now instead of damage later. And it's just that hard part, so people avoid it. They intellectualize their pain. They romanticize their wounds. They turn trauma into an identity instead of something to work through. Changing means letting go of patterns that are familiar, even the ones that hurt, even the ones that feel like home. And not everyone wants that. Some people want the language of healing without the responsibility of growth. But the real healing doesn't show up in captions. It shows up in how you communicate, how you handle conflict, how you apologize, how you treat people when you're triggered. Not in the way you say you're working on it, but in what you stop repeating. So yeah, everyone's healing apparently. But if nothing in your life looks different, if the same issues keep coming back, if the same conversations keep ending the same way, it might not be healing. It might just be familiar language. And that, my folks, is our first Fluent Moment. Thank you for joining us today. We'll see you next week. Stay fluent. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yo, release was semi. Besides the Henny, is I've seen plenty. Things get skinny as if Queens was a crack Jenny. Instead of diet plans, it's crack 200 grams. I pump a G-Pack, peeping for where the D's at. It's slow, looking for Rambo, the cop who got grades back in the days. Chasing niggas through my project maze. That cop, he got a death wish. He run behind niggas until you breathless. Every day he making 10 arrest shit. My nigga, check this. I know the bitch he rests with. I even blessed it. 40-10 inspected. Already checked the done is. Ain't who you